My stepbrother is creepy. Okay, first things first, I'm a 14-year-old girl. My dad, who said he's on my side, barely does anything about it. I would tell the police, but I don't have any proof against him. I also don't know if this belongs here, but I need to get it off my chest. Okay, here's the layout, to the best I can explain. In a box-like hallway is 3 rooms, a bathroom, and a small closet. One room to the left of you, and then next to it is the closet. The next to the closet is my brother's room, and my soon-to-be then the bathroom. Now here's where it began. This was in the middle of the year. I was getting ready to take a shower, and by the time I had all my stuff ready, my stepbrother, who's a few months older than me, asked if he could use the bathroom. I said yes because I trusted him, and I knew, or at least I thought I knew, a nice person. A few minutes passed, and he was still in there. I thought it was odd. He usually doesn't take this long. Then he got out. When he got out, instead of going to his room like he usually does, he awkwardly stared at me, said, "Okay, bye," then slowly closed his door. This scared me a little, but I carried on with what I was doing. I get in the bathroom, start the water, turn on my music, undress, and hop in the shower. After I get out, still sing the song playing at the time to start drying off. Now, a thing I do is look in the mirror, and after I get dressed to see if the acne stuff is working. Just by chance, I looked down to see my brother's phone under a small hand towel pointed to where the bathtub was. I froze. I didn't know what to do. I was only 13 at the time. A dumb one at that. When I picked up his phone, I saw it was on the record screen, but it quickly closed out. So I hurried to wrap my hair in my towel and did it in my dirty clothes. When I got to the kitchen, I found my grandma, who was visiting and staying at the time. I told her what I found and how I found it. Then she was in my stepmom's room where she was sleeping because she has night shift. My grandma tells my mom what happened. She wakes up like 10 minutes later. Mom asked why the phone was in there, and asked him to show her all the stuff on his phone. For all I know, he'd use a download app that hides certain stuff on his phone. Sorry, that's my phone. On his phone. For all I know, he could have downloaded an app that hides certain stuff because there are apps out there. We can have a secret camera on your phone, or maybe even secret folders, what you call them. Oh, and his excuse was to get this. He was recording a song he liked, and he wasn't thinking. Now, what I can't believe is that it worked. My stepmom babies him, so he didn't get grounded or get his phone taken away. One thing I wish I did was take a picture of the phone for proof. I have more stories. I mean, they're small things, but it goes along with this story. So if you want to hear it, I'll most likely write it tomorrow. And the main reason that I decided to come to Reddit is because I was sick of no one really helping me get things off my chest. And if I'm going to be honest, I only have one friend that's been helping me out. So, Autumn, if you're reading this, thank you. That you? I probably would have not thought things out properly and chose the wrong answer. Bruh. The only creepy thing he did was that, like, it's not like he had like an FBI camera pointed at her booty. I expected her to like, what, like he had an AK-47 and he was staring down my booty, and I said, "Oh, oh." Why is that in a scary? I don't know. Why is it in a scary story Reddit?
Yeah, it's weird.
Like that just sounds like you need to you need to beat him up. I don't know. My girlfriend and
Oh,
I were
can you hear
attacked
me?
by a ghost. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay.
My girlfriend and I were attacked by a ghost. So last weekend, my girlfriend and I were attacked by a ghost. Now, should I mention that my family has a long history of being able to see and feel ghosts going back to my great grandmother? My father was very sensitive to this kind of stuff and would often tell me about his experience with ghosts around my house and his experience with a Ouija board. He played with it when he was younger. My brother and I were both able to see and feel ghosts, and he has been talking about a woman in white that has been roaming the house, specifically his room. Both seen her. Ow, Prim, be nice. And it's been going on for a few years. She's never really bothered us, so we don't mind her being around. However, recently I've been getting the gut feeling that there might be something a little more sinister about the house. Last weekend, my girlfriend and I were laying in bed, and all of a sudden our dog goes ballistic and is running to the curtains, blocking the door and pacing back and forth. I tried to calm her down, but she was, "Stop, you thug." but she wouldn't sit still. So I opened the curtains and took her outside to show her nothing was there. When we came back, and ow, my girlfriend told me she was smelling something burning, and I noticed it too. So I went upstairs to check, and my brother brought it up as well. However, I wrote it off as the neighbor burning plastic or something. Decided to close the curtains and go back to bed. When we were laying down, our dog is still livid, turning around the room following something. So I jokingly looked at my girlfriend and said, "Along the eyes of oh, watch out, it's a ghost." She didn't find it very funny. Besides, test my theory. I have a hanging up of a speed bag, and I hung it up on the wall. You see us off, and just for shits and giggles to see if you're there, move the pants that's hanging from the speed bag. And sure enough, they start to sway back and forth. And we decide to test it further until to open the curtains, and the curtains start to slowly inch open. At this point, our dog is calmed down, but she's visibly scared. I then tell it to move. My state flag is hanging up I was hanging on the wall beside her dog. The flag never moved, but her dog sticks her tail in between her legs and runs to the other side of the room and hides behind my girlfriend. So I walked over to where she was, and the one to be worried about, as there are 3 to 4 ghosts on my house property. I'm only worried about the one, now two, that was outside by our fire pit. So I began to test how nice it was, which was an awful idea. I tried to kick it out, took off my cross, and went around the room with it in my hand, saying Bible verses and such. Then, when I lay back down, my left shoulder blade began to burn. My girlfriend checked it, and sure enough, there was burning. There was multiple scratches. Now, at this point, my mood began to shift. I got very angry, started cussing at the ghost and telling it I'm going to kick it out. After my entire life began to burn, I haven't been scratched my back, and neither have my girlfriend. This all happened within 2 minutes. Checked me again. Now my entire back was scratched and red hot. I'm in a tremendous amount of pain. My girlfriend wants to leave the room, so we run up the steps and see our dog is still downstairs. So I ran back down, and while I'm grabbing her, my girlfriend starts to scream and yell for me. While I was down the steps, she felt something grab me whip at the back for a thigh. Yo, me? And needless to say, we hightailed it out of there. After calming down, we went back downstairs, tested some more. We got it to move some more things, and then I took her home. We both stayed at we as soon as we left the house, we felt instantly better. My back had stopped burning at this point. After I dropped her off, I went back to my house, and whenever I walked through the door, it was like running into a brick wall. Everything I felt heavy and dreary, and it was uncomfortable to sleep there that night. Every time I talk about it now, my back starts to burn again with its scratches, but I also have pictures of scratches, so if this does well, I'll post them on profile. Bro, that sounds goofy. I don't know if I believe that. Okay, okay. One more. And then you do a 3 story one. I
We
posted
do a
some.
what?
I'll do 3, and then you do 3 in a different one, like a different video.
What are you talking about?
I just read 2 stories. I'll do a third one, and then you do 3.
Okay.
I post this on a differently, apparently wrong sub, so I'm reposting it here in hopes I get the right spot. Okay, so after reading the story about this person's gas station encounter around Missoula, MT on Creepy Encounter sees my lengthy story of a similar encounter, though I never saw the creature in its entirety. My husband and I were honeymooning by driving our camping rig on over landing and dirt roads from ghost town to ghost town. We pick a town and camp near it for the night. We've been doing that for about a week. Nothing special or creepy happened at any point. It's just some nature and some history. One town I was very excited about was Garnet. Prim, get down from there. MT, but it was just an hour from Missoula, and we called our friend who's an outfitter in Billings for a place to camp. She said just up the mountains there were some flat spots in her 17-year-old Tahoe with big tires, a rooftop tent bed, and sleeping quarters in the cabin because we always travel with our 2 dogs and cat. So all we need is a decent spot slightly hidden and we're good. As we drive back up to the backside of the mountain on the main road, I see abandoned cars and a few rundown houses. Nothing too weird, but I can't shake the pit in my stomach that's growing. We get further up and past the parking area for the ghost town, and higher up we drive, the more my instinctive anxiety kicks in. You know, the flight of flight or flight, according to my dogs. adding to my dogs. They're going nuts. Of course, I rode off as them needing to get out. So we finally find a flat spot, and I realized my husband and I hadn't spoken the whole drive up. Probably 45 minutes. He goes out to get the car, see if there's this level, and I grab his hands. Dogs say, please don't turn the lights off. I think I saw eyes before we stopped. He looks at me confused and says why he has to, but he'll leave the cabin lights on. When he gets out, I can think about how it's watching. I don't even know what it is, but I sensed it followed us from where the eyes flashed. When he gets back in, I tell him not to let the dogs in. He says we should just go somewhere. Something isn't right. Now we camp a lot, and I get spooked, but my husband never does. We usually hang out and relax, and it's fine. He never left a spot because I'd just been alarmed. So when he said we should go, I know he felt it too. We're down a different road and paved one to I-90, driving fast. I look in the review mirror, but the dogs were in the way, and the tent is so dark you can't see well at night. But there was a rumble, like something big was running. The tension was growing. The dogs are pacing, and he and I were bickering at it. And it started snowing hard out of nowhere. We came around a turn, and a stark white rabbit dashes in front of the car, and we hit it. A hush fell over us after that until we got to the mountain, onto the road, onto the side road. All anxiety we felt was gone. Cut to the other side of Missoula, where we camped, zero creepiness until the next day. As we were driving back to Garnet on the main mountain road we came out on, we noticed a point that we ascended to the mountain that we both started feeling nervous. I looked at my husband after we made the big turn and said, where's the rabbit? It was gone. No carcass, no blood, no animal tracks, no trace that had been there. I can believe that something got it, but no trace of it. We were the first people up. No other tire tracks beside ours on the way down. I would think you'd see blood or something, but it was gone. The snow wasn't deep enough to have buried it because we could see our distinct tracks from the previous night. No rabbit. So we get to the ghost town. So interesting, by the way. And he's talking to this rangers about creepiness in the mountain. Like I says, yeah, there's something up here. I wouldn't stay by myself at night. I just wants to say, what exactly do you see and feel? So I tell him I felt fear, deep primal fear, that it was old, not human. Haven't been human for a while, if ever. I said it wasn't a ghost and it wasn't a a
Mm.
living crazy person. I said it felt like I wanted to eat me, which I know is strange, but I felt like we were being hunted. And I said at this point, I thought I saw two red eyes, but I can't be sure. I think it followed us from where I'd seen the eyes, like stalking. He said there's a window up here. Do you know what that is? I didn't, but when you described the lore, I almost cried. That is exactly down to the eyes. A few months later, I'm telling the story to my stepmother, who's been researching American Indian symbolism, and she says, you know what rabbits are, right? Of course I do not. Rabbits are often believed to be warrior spirits, and they say that when a rabbit comes, he's fighting for you. That rabbit sacrificed himself for you guys last night. A chill ran over me, and her husband looked at it. Me and said, after the rabbit, it stopped chasing us. It never mentioned, I thought it was chased us. Well, that's the end. What the heck? Huh.
Mm.
Alright. Yo, 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 yo.